Good morning, everyone. It's Sam with The Blind Life, here to help you learn how to live your best blind life. And in this case, we're talking about vlogging, creating content on YouTube, and some of the tools that might be best suited to help you with low vision achieve that task. So this video, we're actually doing a lens review. We're talking about the brand new Sony 11mm f1.8. Brand new lens. At the time of this recording, it's not even available yet. You can pre-order, but you can't get it yet. Huge thank you to Sony for sending this lens out. Just know that Sony didn't pay me for this video. No money changed hands. I don't get to keep the lens. I wish I could, because this is an amazing lens as a car drives by. I'm just testing it out for a while, and then I gotta send it back. So because of that though, Sony doesn't get to influence anything I say about this lens. It's my own personal opinion. Look at the light coming through here. It's a beautiful morning here in Georgia. I'm down here for a really cool event. I don't know if the video will be out by the time this video is released, so I'm not gonna say too much about it, but it involves airplanes, I will say that. All right, getting back to the lens. So I have this paired up with the new Sony ZV-1. It's a really, really impressive small form factor APS-C camera. It's got the flippy outy screen, which is great for most people doing vlogs like this. I can barely, if I get it close enough, I can kind of see myself on the screen. But that's where the beauty of this 11mm comes into play, is I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to be able to see the screen to know that I'm gonna be in the shot, because it's such a wide angle lens. And that's why I think this would be a must have for anybody that wants to create content like this, vlogs. Because I know that as long as my arm is almost fully extended here and I've got the camera pointed at me, I'm gonna be in the shot. I don't need to worry about seeing myself on that tiny little screen. It's such a wide angle lens. Here, I'll show you. I've got my A7 IV here, and I'm holding the ZV-1 about this distance away. So my arm isn't fully extended. It's got a little bit of a bend. It's a comfortable position, and I'm just pointing the camera right at me. So that's why I think it's gonna be a fantastic lens for anybody with low vision. As I said, this is an APS-C lens, so it's really designed for your APS-C camera bodies. For Sony, that's this ZV-1. That's also your A5000 series, your A6000 series. So if you have a 6400 or a 6600, any of those, this is gonna be great for that. So that means that even though it's an 11mm, you're really getting more of a 15 or a 16mm because of the APS-C crop. So if you were going to throw this on my full frame A7 IV over there, you would actually get true 11mm, which is insanely wide. The problem is this lens is made for APS-C. So if you put it in full 11mm mode, which you can do that, you're gonna get some heavy vignetting around the edges. So obviously you could do that, and you might be able to get some of that vignetting out in post, especially if you're doing photos. But you're probably gonna be using it in the APS-C mode on these full frame cameras, APS-C or Super 35, which is still crazy wide. This 11mm currently is the widest lens I have. I have a 16mm APS-C lens, but because of the crop, it's more like a 24. So vlogging like this, not being able to see yourself on a screen, this lens is fantastic for that. Sitting in a studio doing a talking head or a product review, this lens is going to be great for that, because you can get that camera so much closer to you. You can work in smaller spaces. A lot of us content creators, we're probably working from home in a spare bedroom or in a basement, and we generally don't have a ton of room to work with. So having a wide angle lens like this one is fantastic. Although I appreciate all the super technical specs of lenses and lens reviews, That's not my style. That's not what my channel's about, so I'm not going to get into all of that. Chromatic aberration, barrel distortion, how sharp it is in the corners. I'm not going to get into all that. There's going to be plenty of reviews on YouTube of this lens, so you can check out some of those. I'm mainly focusing on how well this will work for the low vision content creator. I've said it before that using an interchangeable lens camera with low vision actually works pretty well, aside from trying to read the menus. But if you want to be able to read your menus, check out my video about the Sony a7 IV and its built-in screen reader. Yes, very first camera that I know of with a built-in screen reader. Check out that video. I'll have a link in the description down below. But as far as framing yourself in the shot, these are fantastic because I can, excuse my hand getting in the shot here, I can grab the lens here, and because it's a cylinder, I can very easily tell if it's pointing right at me, or at least in my general direction. I may not be perfectly centered, but I've got a good idea. And that's where having this really wide lens comes into play, because as long as I know it's pointing in my direction, it's such a wide field of view, I know I'm gonna be in the shot. And speaking of that, this isn't even the widest it can go, because I'm currently shooting this with the active stabilization, or the active steady shot, turned on. That makes it a much smoother shot, not as jumpy when you're vlogging, when you're hand holding like this. But in active mode, it actually crops in the picture just a little bit. Okay, I just turned active steady shot off. So this is the lens in all of its glory, as wide as you will get on an APS-C camera doing a vlogging shot. It may be a little bit more shaky, I apologize about that, but this is it, guys. This is how wide this lens gets. Yeah, this is fantastic. Can't say enough good things about this lens, and it's tiny. That's the other thing. It is a small lens. You should see my 16mm lens and my 20mm lens on my camera. It's huge. This thing is tiny and super lightweight. All right. So I'm not going to go on too much more about this lens, guys. I think I've gotten my point across that it's a pretty awesome lens. Huge thank you to Sony for letting me do this review for you guys. I'm excited about this lens. I hope you guys are too. If you are a content creator, and I've met several of you guys out there at conventions and conferences and stuff, so I know there's a market in the low vision content creating world for a lens like this. I mean, this is a highly anticipated lens, and a lot of people are excited about this. This is actually one of 3 new lenses that Sony just released, made specifically for content creators. Oh, my arm's getting tired. I'm not a vlogger. I don't do this very often. So if you guys are interested in this lens, of course, I will have the contact information down below. I'll put a link to it on Amazon and B&H. If you guys have any questions for me, of course, leave those in the comments down below. You can also reach me at theblindlife.net. And of course, on all the other social media platforms, all those links will be down below. Thanks again, guys. Sam with The Blind Life. I'll see you next time.